get up and dash 100 meters and I would eat up the competition. It's just non-existent. I kick my feet up. Thought I was passing till I got blasted. I pulled my seat up.
Welcome to 3 Count Commentaries. Let's talk about AEW Rampage from January 28th, 2022. So, I don't know what to say about this show. I really don't. There was parts of it I actually cared about. Parts of it that was actually pretty cool. And you could see something forming on Rampage, which is actually very interesting. Rampage, they've been trying to avoid the concept of Rampage being a B show. And it seems like they've taken certain people and put them on Rampage, and therefore you only really see them on Rampage. And it seems Danielson, Moxley, and Andrade are 2 of those guys. But, that's not necessarily negative. But it's a choice. It's a decision. It's a decision, okay? So let's talk about this show. Jon Moxley defeats Anthony Bowens with the paradigm shift. The rap for the Acclaimed included Jon Moxley's wife didn't call Max Caster back. The network said for him to watch his mouth. And of course people were like, ooh. I was like, oh God. Let's move on, please. So the match was not awful, but it wasn't great either. It was very hard for me to get into. The match is a little long for a match where one guy is not going to win. He's got no chance of winning, and the likelihood of him winning is like 0. But AEW and they just love having these guys work these kinds of matches, and it's very weird. I think there's also Moxley didn't cut a promo. He didn't get to talk. He didn't really get to show any personality. He just came out there, worked his match, and went away. Who did get to do something was Bryan Danielson, who was actually watching Jon Moxley's match on the screen. He looked a little impressed, a little bit. He was watching the show as a normal person with his back to the camera, which of course WWE doesn't want people having their backs to the camera. So they're furthering that storyline on Rampage, where they're just going to have Danielson watching Moxley and gauging Moxley's progress. I don't know what they're going to do, but I'm interested in where we're going with this. I just think this is A show material. If Moxley and Danielson are going to tangle, that's A show material. I don't understand why it's on the B show, and we have to deal with Nyla Rose on the A show. It's like, no. It seems like they might be trying to soft split the roster. I think that's what I was trying to say earlier. I just never got around to it. It seems like they're trying to do like a little bit of a soft split on that roster because it keeps growing. But we'll see. Andrade goes into Sting's locker room. He goes looking for the little boy. And he finds Darby, who is sitting there. He's like, little boy who works for Sting. Look at me. I'm Andrade El Idolo. Darby laughs because that's ridiculous. So he asks the little boy who works for Sting to see his boss. Little boy who works for Sting, I want to see your boss. Darby laughs again, says that he doesn't work for Sting, or you think I work for Sting. Andrade says, look, little boy who works for Sting, I got something for you. And he goes into, I'm guessing, his suit jacket, or has one of his handlers hand him a contract, to which he presents this contract to Darby Allin. Darby Allin then says, look, man, I've been homeless. I've eaten apple cores out of the garbage. I've sipped on sewer water. I've lived under moldy blankets. I've been homeless. Money doesn't mean anything to me. You can't buy me. My dignity isn't for sale. And then Andrade was like, whoa, little boy who works for Sting. What you getting so upset about? Look at me. Then tells him, I just want to see your boss. And continues to go look for Sting. He's going to talk to Sting. He wants to go do business with Sting. And I was like, you know what? All right. I love this. This was great. This was hilarious. All right. It was probably funnier in my head than it was on the TV, but this shit was fucking hilarious. All right. You got talking to Andrade, it's like talking to a wall. No matter how many times you tell him this guy does not work for Sting, he is sure that Darby Allin works for Sting. You understand? He don't under he got like a weird brain where it's all, there's no such thing as friendship. There's only business arrangements. It's only transactional. So it's like, little boy who works for Sting. You're the little boy who works for Sting. I want to talk to your boss. And he presents him with a contract. He's just going around with contracts. And then Darby Allin is like miserable, half dead. Money doesn't mean anything. It's like, are you working there for free? You taking all these bumps for free? No? Well, money means something, dude. It means something. It means something. Okay. So Andrade possibly feuding with Darby or Sting, or Darby and Sting. Could be both be fun. I will say this, though. I feel like Darby was closer to being world champion before CM Punk came in. Once CM Punk came in, and then Danielson came in, and Adam Cole came in, then a bunch of other people are now going to start coming in. Darby is one of those guys. And yes, he's partnered with Sting, but he is not nearly as featured as he used to be. He's not nearly as prominent as he used to be. He might be one of the first real casualties of guys who fell off after the first wave. You know, and he shouldn't have been. He should have been one of the main guys that's in the front. To be quite honest, he should be world champion rather than Adam Page. Because if you look at the people that the crowd was really behind for almost the entire time, before they put him with Sting, people was 100% behind Darby Allin all the way. He was the TNT champion. Everybody liked him. Everybody thought he was doing good. He was kicking ass. And then out of nowhere, he just got moved to the side. You know, they were like, again, what did I say before? You know, when they give people the run, you've had your run, now you go to the side. And that's exactly what Darby Allin is doing. He's going off and he's chilling, doing nonsense tag team matches with Sting. His momentum has stalled because they continuously bringing in new people. So when are they going to get back to him? Who knows? He seems like an afterthought right now. And despite the fact that Darby's smaller than all these other guys, he seems to have more of an interesting character, have more to talk about, certainly than Sammy Guevara. Certainly more interesting than that Jay Brown. But, you know, Darby has been booted to the B show. And Sting's little buddy. I don't know. I ain't mad at it because I don't, you know, Darby is a midget. So what can you really do? You know, but he's one of those bulletproof midgets they love so much. But he was the guy I thought really was the one that was going to break through and actually become something. You know, but they decided to move away from him. Very weird decision. FTR defeated Brock Anderson and Lee Johnson, which this match was entirely too long. FTR looked like they were going to lose a bunch of times in this match. I was like, wow, was this the point of this match was not to make FTR look dominant. It was to make Brock Anderson and Lee Johnson look good. Lee Johnson missed all of those topes from the top rope. And it looked worse each time he did it. So he jumped over the top rope. He missed it, you know, by a little bit. Barely made it. Next time he missed by a lot. It just gave them so much offense. And then Arn Anderson punched out Tully. I was like, okay, there's a lot going on here. In the end, FTR wins, of course, with Spike Piledriver. Okay, whatever. Right decision. Just took us too long to get there. We got a vignette for Thunder Rosa versus Mercedes Martinez. And they agreed to fight next Friday. And I'm thinking to myself, they're going to put this on a taped show? They're going to put Mercedes Martinez and Thunder Rosa on a taped show for next week. What? Why would they do that? Why isn't this on Dynamite? This should be on Dynamite. This is Mercedes Martinez's first match. We're going to put it on Rampage? All right. Look, Booker of the Year. Why am I questioning him? I don't know nothing. Serena Deeb vignette. Are they really building up her too, finally? Okay, good. You know, Serena Deeb deserves some hype. Finally. Julia Hart, who was 0-0-0 and had one eye, gets defeated by Jade Cargill, who is now 26-0. after Jade Cargill's been on the roster a year and a half, I believe. How she only had 26 matches. She was on the roster in 2019, right? Or was it early 2020? I think it was during early 2020 with the pandemic years. So she's been on the roster for a year. And she's only had 26 matches. I don't know. I don't know about that. Anyway, of course Jade Cargill wins. She's wrestling a little girl with one eye. Come on. I did like the lightning bolts during Jay's entrance in the ring. It reminded me a lot of the new generation era of WWF, which I always like the in-ring lasers and all that kind of stuff. It's fucking cool. They need to bring that stuff back. All right. So the main event, Private Party, was defeated by the Jurassic Express. Christian told Matt Hardy when it came to tags, they were never on he was never on Christian's level anyway. And that Private Party has gone down ever since they got involved with Matt Hardy, which of course is the truth. That is the God's honest truth. He could have put a Quran, a Bible, and any other holy book you want to. He could stack them joints and put his hand on them and would not have lied a bit. He would not see hell whatsoever by saying how bad Private Party has fallen off since they've been part of the Hardy thing. They kept talking about pounding Jungle Boy's ass. I guess it's some kind of inside joke, which, like I said before, it's a club. I don't understand everything. Why they keep talking about pounding his ass is so weird. It's so weird and homoerotic. Stop doing that shit. So they decided to have the match. And the match was whatever you think it is. I saw at one point a guy did a Hurricane Rana on Jungle Boy. Jungle Boy counters the Hurricane Rana into a Canadian destroyer. I was like, this is fucking retarded. Like this is just, it's not even that, it's got to be Street Fighter video game shit at this point. Like combo breaker. That's Killer Instinct. But still, like this is ridiculous. How do we get into this situation? Private Party have very little in the way of personality. Jungle Boy has almost none. And when it comes to Luchasaurus, only words that come into my mind every time I think of Luchasaurus is Bill DeMott was right. Every time I think of Luchasaurus, I'm like, man, Bill DeMott was so right about this guy. It's just so right. In any event, the Jungle Express, Jurassic Express rather, they win. Then the Ass Boys jump them from behind. The Ass Boys being the Guns. I don't remember their names. Austin and Colton? Is that their names? Yes, Austin and Colton. They are their names. They jumped and beat up Jurassic Express after the match. So Private Party were a stepping stool for Jurassic Express to continue their feud with, check my notes, Austin and Colton Gunn. All right then. That's that makes sense to everybody. I think we all had enough of Rampage for today. I think we've all had enough of our AEW for today. So it is what it is, man. This show, I wasn't as mauled by this show as I was by Dynamite because there was less to get mad about. I did enjoy the Andrade scene with him and Darby. They setting up this nice little storyline there where, Darby, I don't care about money. He's Batman all of a sudden. He can survive without money and food or, anything else. I don't even need a house. I'll sleep in the woods, start my own fire. I'll make my own beef jerky out of chicken. Or something, it's like, whatever. If you're too cool for money, I don't understand what you're doing this for. Is this like Johnny Knoxville jackass prank shit at this point then? You're doing it for what? If you're not doing it for money, you're doing it for what? I don't know if I would. I mean, I get why you would have a character who wouldn't care about money. Because other people think that shit is cool, Other people think it's cool that people do things and you don't need to be paid for it. I come from the school of thought if you're good at something, you never do it for free. And Darby is supposedly good at this. So why is he even implying that he's doing it for free? or, doing it for a diminished cost or diminished price. But I'm still interested in that storyline. And of course, Danielson and Moxley. I'm very interested in that. But what are you guys interested in on this show? What are you guys interested in? Watch this video, then like this video. Share this video, subscribe to the channel. Thank you guys for your time and all of the new subscribers. I appreciate you all. And I'll talk to you guys later, man. Peace out.